Because of their emotional sensitivity and unwavering care for others, some individuals don't take INFJs seriously. They cannot, however, minimize their capacity to develop into the Sigma, which is their best iteration. Here are 10 examples that demonstrate how the INFJ evolved into a Sigma INFJ. Number 10, the capacity to pick their battles carefully. INFJs can develop into their Sigma nature as seen by their improved capacity to no longer accept each challenge that comes their way, and to only accept those that help them achieve their goals. The thing with INFJs is that, in spite of everything unusual, they are unstoppable in following their dreams or attaining their goals. Even though there are numerous reasons to give up, they will keep their activities, routines, and choices in line with their final objective. Nevertheless, as their Sigma aspect matures, they'll realize that not all of their desires are worthwhile investing their time and effort on. Not all of their goals will be as beneficial as they thought. Some of these wishes will merely deplete their resources and misdirect them. Thus, evolution is about realizing that they don't have to push past such formidable obstacles. When it's essential, they are told to give up by their Sigma selves. It teaches them that changing course occasionally is the most practical course of action, and that giving up isn't always for losers. Number 9, the lack of interest in blending in. INFJs can appear happy and engage with others to appear normal. They will understand that they don't need to blend in or be liked, though, once they have grown and acquired their Sigma nature. INFJs are adaptable enough to integrate into any group. Nonetheless, Sigma INFJs are highly picky about who they let into their environments. They only draw the wise for this reason. They exclusively associate with others who share their values and hold similar opinions. Do not misunderstand, Sigma INFJs are flexible, but they don't frequently employ it. They can then draw the social circle they deserve thanks to that. What would you do if you were a Sigma INFJ and your work required you to blend in and mingle more? Number 8, an improved ability to remain emotionally detached. Their heightened emotional detachment is another indication of the INFJ's development into a Sigma INFJ. The mood of Sigma INFJs won't be affected by unplanned emotional situations anymore. Despite the fact that INFJs experience sadness when their loved ones are unhappy, and joy when they are also joyful, their Sigma nature lends reason to those emotions. INFJs have the ability to control who should have access to their emotions by developing into their Sigma nature. The Sigma INFJ has learned as a result not to let anyone in, not even their loved ones, without their consent, sway their emotions. Any emotional experience that is not advantageous to them will not be entertained. They are consequently less prone to be in codependent or abusive relationships. They are the last to succumb to manipulation and gaslighting. Nobody with full awareness has the power to make people unhappy, sad, delighted, elated, afraid, or wretched. This is an example of how protective Sigma INFJs can be of their inner calm. After all the devastation they have experienced, they simply need meaningful interactions and experiences. This does not mean that they are cruel or cold. Number 7, the capacity to accept people as they are. INFJs make the decision to see the best in people due to their intrinsic empathy. Sigma INFJs do not, though. Sigma INFJs are of the opinion that it is not appropriate to expect the best in individuals when all they display are their negative traits, dirty attitudes, and defects. Since it is not their life in the first place, it is not our obligation to extract attitudes that people are unwilling to express. Because of this, Sigma INFJs will base their impressions on what other people portray them as rather to what they may actually be. Before someone actually does something, no one can know who they are or what they are capable of. Sigma INFJs can avoid dealing with toxic people in this way so they can concentrate on more vital tasks. Does the Sigma INFJ, however, become less empathic than other INFJs as a result? Number 6. Being able to prioritize oneself. INFJs are selfless. They prioritize others' needs over their own. While meeting the needs of others is one of their existential goals, they will allow their loved ones to profit from their abilities, resources, and time. They become their Sigma selves as they develop. Sigma INFJs are aware of their own needs. They think that putting one's needs and wants first is not being selfish. This merely suggests that they wish to improve and be happier individuals who have a beneficial influence on their surroundings and interpersonal connections. Prior to evolving and becoming their finest selves, they want to heal themselves. As they have been fostered, they will also nurture others. INFJs, on the other hand, frequently give in to their generous, compassionate side, which leads them to prioritize the needs of others over their own. INFJs who have not matured and come to terms with their Sigma self are hence more prone to toxic relationships and gaslighting. Number 5. Reluctance to change to other people's pace. The INFJ strives to put people at ease, but the Sigma INFJ prefers to leave the awkward environment alone. They don't care whether their silence disturbs other people, due to their distinctive personality and complexity. Some people will undoubtedly feel uncomfortable around INFJ. They are aware that some people find it difficult to warm out to them and speak to them because of their overpowering depth. This is why they hide their true selves while making jokes and downplaying their knowledge in an effort to make others feel comfortable. Simply put, they simplify themselves to make themselves more understandable. On the other side, Sigma INFJs have no desire in doing so. They loathe having to change their points of view to fit in with a conversation or make others feel at ease. They think that some individuals will typically feel strange around them because their ideas and views differ from theirs. And that's all right. This implies that you will never strike up a conversation only to meet someone's eyes, as an INFJ typically does. Number 4. The enhanced perception of value. INFJs are naturally compassionate, altruistic, and sensitive. Even to people who don't value or appreciate it, they have a tendency to freely give their love. Because they listen to people without passing judgment and go headfirst into relationships without second thoughts, their selflessness renders them vulnerable to abuse. They understand what it's like to battle alone with no support system, so that's why. They are compassionate toward individuals who are repressing their inner struggles, and sympathetic toward those who are unable to do so. Yet once they develop into their Sigma nature, they will come clean with the reality. Not everyone deserves their goodwill. It's not because they place an inflated value on themselves or their free time. They merely need to safeguard their mental health from anyone who could try to use it. For the good-hearted, the world isn't always a pleasant and secure place. So, becoming more like their Sigma nature helps them realize that their energy is valuable, and that they should only devote it to things and people that are deserving of it. Number 3. The diminished desire to support others. INFJs won't wait for someone to ask them for a favor since they genuinely want to help them. If they are confident in their capacity to follow through, they will volunteer right away. They are helpful in any business or community as a result. They won't even object if their friends seek their counsel, consolation, and assistance. Sigma INFJs, however, are not like that. If no one asks, they are unlikely to volunteer. They simply won't put their efforts into an activity that is not urgently needed, which does not suggest that they are unhelpful or lazy. They need to focus on much more crucial matters than codependency and being there for others all the time. In actuality, they are their own company, friend, support system, and comfort zone, and they need themselves as well. How can they take care of themselves when they have already spent all of their energy elsewhere? Number 2, a lack of a second chance. This in no way implies that Sigma INFJs are callous, conceited, or unforgiving, simply because they evaluate individuals based on their behavior. And if they are rude, it is because they are rude and not for any other reason. This is why they have a hard time forgiving someone who takes advantage of them, lies about them, betrays them, or treats them badly. It implies that they are capable of making those errors and says a lot about who they are. And while INFJs are capable of forgiving those who have wronged them, Sigma INFJs are unable to do so because they have had enough. Despite their ability to forgive, they will no longer accept those individuals. The INFJ has fully grown into their unapologetic, unconcerned Sigma character when they stopped giving second chances. Number 1, their honesty was met with an unapologetic attitude. Another indication that the latter is the more developed of the two is the difference between how careful the INFJ is not to offend others and how carefree Sigma INFJs are. INFJs are brutally honest, but they take care not to offend others. They make an effort to avoid being rude by using the proper language. They don't avoid people, but their conscience can't stand the thought of them harming someone with harsh words. They don't want to make an honest remark and ruin someone's confidence. When they become aware that some people's confidence is founded on pride, conceit, and erroneous notions, they develop into the Sigma, a more powerful woke character. This explains why Sigma INFJs are more vocal than other INFJs. They don't care if they irritate or disturb someone by telling the truth, since, while being truthful is their obligation, avoiding upsetting people's easily bruised egos is not. Does being a Sigma INFJ imply you never felt guilty for being brutally honest with someone? INFJs have a history of being the emotionally weak man who suffers when they invest more of themselves in those who don't value them back. Yet, once they develop into their more smart and powerful form, social expectations can no longer enslave them. You may be an INFJ. Have you let loose your Sigma in the wild yet?